Hi guys, it's me again. It's Irene. Excuse my phone. But like I said, I'm gonna make these videos raw and not edit them, so I silenced it now. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my introduction video last week. I know I kind of went all over the place, but I just wanted to kind of give you a general idea of what I'm going to be talking about. Today I would like to talk about, as much as I can remember, how I found out I had cancer. So we're going to start from the beginning. I was 23 years old and I woke up one morning and I noticed a very, very, very slight like bump. Like you really couldn't tell. Like I was able to tell because it's my own body, but you really couldn't tell. But you know, people were like saying like, no, it's nothing, like you probably slept wrong, it was like a muscle, like, or not, you know, it makes sense. So I said, all right, like, yeah, well, like it didn't go away. And you know, I ended up getting the bump was kind of just there, and then I started getting like back pains when I was going to sleep. I started to get night sweats like every night. I started to itch all over my legs, like constantly itching. And the bump just kept growing. So I ended up seeing a doctor. You know, he did a bunch of tests, MRI, blood work. I had a needle biopsy done and he didn't find anything. So the bump just continued to grow and it was like getting huge. He ended up doing an actual biopsy and, you know, he did test for Hodgkin's lymphoma. And he said that it came back negative. So I was like, okay, so it's not cancer. So at this point, I was kind of frustrated because I was with this doctor for like 6 months. And I was like, okay, like I'm at the point where I just kind of want to know what it is. Like no matter how bad it is. I mean, I know that was bad to say, but you know, you just get to a point where it's just like I'm done with all these tests and all these needles and everything. Well, I ended up, you know, switching insurances and went to Kaiser. By then the bump was sticking out of my neck and it was hurting my shoulder because it was pushing, you know, on my, I guess like my nerves and stuff, so it would hurt and I couldn't sleep and it would just hurt so much. So as soon as I saw Kaiser, the doctor immediately scheduled a biopsy, and then I found out a week later I did have Hodgkin's lymphoma, and at this point, because it took so long to find out, I was stage 4. Luckily it did not go in my bone marrow because I did have to have a bone marrow biopsy, which is, I mean, it was like bad, like it hurt. It felt weird when because they have to, sorry if you don't like to hear this kind of stuff, mute me or something, I don't know, skip over. But she, you know, they do it from the back and they have to drill a hole in your bone. And then they get a needle and pull out the liquid, like, or whatever inside your bone. And the drill, it felt like, the best way I could describe it is, you know, when you go to the LA County Fair and they have the foot massagers, it felt like that. But like, you know, when you leave your foot on, how it kind of starts to hurt because of the vibration. Well, it felt like that, but like a little bit more worse than that. But it felt like that, something vibrating against my bone and I couldn't move. And, but what hurt the most was when she actually pulled out the liquid. That's what, you know, did hurt. I screamed. I remember screaming because it hurts, you know, and it was over and done. And, you know, it wasn't in my bone marrow, so thank God for that. But I did have stage 4 cancer. I found out in October, and October happens to be a very big month for me. October is the month I got the biopsy, the month I found out I had cancer. It's also the month when my mom passed away, 11 or 12 years ago now. And it's my birthday month, you know, so it's very emotional, you know, so it's just crazy. October just seems to be like the month of surprises for me. But I mean, I accepted it. I just accepted it head on. And I, you know, as soon as I found out, I mean, it was weird. I got a call from the doctor. I was by myself at home and he was like, you know, I just want you to know you have Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, well, it's a cancer. And, you know, me going through it with my mom should have understood, like, cancer is, like, big deal. But I don't know. I guess I was in shock. It didn't click to me. I was like, okay, thank you, and scheduled an appointment with the oncologist, and then I hung up. And it was weird because then my sister comes home and I told her, like, she's like, hey, and I was like, oh, like the doctor called me. She's like, yeah, what's going on? I was like, well, he said I have cancer. And she was like, what? Like, she was shocked because she understood. And I was just like, it's no big deal. Like, I mean, it was just, I don't know. I was just in such shock. Like, it still hasn't hit me now. That I beat it. It still hasn't hit me that I even had it. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, besides the bump, I didn't see all the cancer all over my body. It was in my liver. It was in my spleen. Like, I didn't see it. So for me, it wasn't true. But, I mean, I never blamed God for a second. I said, I'm going to fight this battle. That's when I came up with my quote now. When God gives you a battle, why give him anything less than a fight? And I chose to fight. And even if it would have taken, the route for the worst, where we couldn't beat it, I would have still fought to the end, and I would have still, had a good spirit about your attitude. I wasn't going to let cancer take over my life. Like, there's a quote I read where it says, I have cancer, but cancer doesn't have me. And I try to read that quote every day to make sure that cancer never took over me. So that's a little bit about how I found out I had cancer. Then I had my birthday, and then a week later, like a week and a half later, I started my first round of chemo. I had to start immediately because of how bad it was. Anytime, when you're watching the video, if you have questions or comments, anything, and then like I said, if you have stories of people you knew who had cancer, please let me know. If anything you want me to go into more detail about what I'm talking about, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'll read them in the next video. I'll go through them. Trust me, I'm not shy. Please do not feel like you're offending me. I don't feel like that at all. So please just go ahead and let me know if you want me to mention something else. I will go into more detail. I'll probably remember things more later. Be like, oh yeah, this is also what happened when I found out. Like, I was actually, since I was misdiagnosed, like, that's why the cancer got so big. I mean, had I found out from the beginning, probably would have been at the very early stages. But I mean, at least we caught it. I know late, but we still caught it pretty much in a good time where I was still able to get treatment. So that's a good thing. You may also notice I didn't upload my video as early as I was planning on doing last Saturday. I'm sorry about that. From now on, I'm going to start uploading my videos actually every Wednesday. So in 2 days, you're going to get another video. I didn't upload the last video because, since I'm still new at this, I updated my YouTube channel name to 12 Violet Scars. And in case you're wondering what that means to me, it actually represents, violet is the color of my ribbon, my cancer ribbon. There's different types of cancers out there, and we each have our own color. Like, a lot of people think that pink is the cancer color. Pink is actually just the color for breast cancer. There's different shades of ribbon too. Like, mine is violet, someone else can have purple, someone else can have, there's just different shades. But I want everyone to know that, like, pink isn't for everyone. We all have our own ribbons. We all fight our own battles. We do fight them together, but like, of course, we all experience it differently. But mine says violet, and so that's what the violet stands for. The scars, 12 violet scars stands for the 12 rounds of chemo that I had to go through, because I did go through 12 rounds of chemo in 6 months. Scars also because I did get left some scars. I don't know if you'll be able to tell in the camera. Here's like a little dark patch. And then I have, of course, my port scar. It's not there no more. I had it taken out, but it's my port scar. Probably won't be able to see. There's like a scar where they did the biopsy. There should be like 2 dots here where I had the port little tube thing go through. So yeah, I have, scars from that. It's just a reminder what I went through, what I fought. I think the hardest thing going through cancer was the scars that I was left. Like this one was left because the blood started seeping in. My veins were getting too little. That's why I had to get a port. But I think that was what really hit me, that I had cancer. Like, that was one of my moments, like, wow. Because I remember coming home from chemo, and I remember waking up the next morning and looking at all the bruises, and it just hit me like, I have something really bad, something that I have to use strong medicines for. But like I said, I still fought. I talked with the nurses, made jokes with them. Like, I still see them and go visit them, and they helped me a lot. But I think that was one of the main things, was seeing the scars. And probably because when my mom went through it, that's kind of what I remember of her, because you don't see the cancer. I just remember seeing like a bunch of IVs always in her and everything. So I think that's what made it a reality. Well, I wanted to start today. I don't know where I put my pictures. Oh, well, on a happy note, Saturday was Earth Day, and I got a free big spoon from Yogurtland. I didn't know about it. My sister was the one who got it and then gave it to me. Trust me, I am gonna use this. Like, if you know me, like, I'm not kidding. I'm gonna use this. But sorry guys, but like I said, raw in the moment, just like my hair is just whatever's today. Like, I want you guys to see me as the real me. Sometimes I'll have makeup, sometimes I won't. Like, sometimes I'll cry, sometimes I'll laugh. I want you guys to see the real me. I mean, because cancer is real. So again, you have questions, comments, please comment, like. If you watch this video, please share it. I want to be able to spread as much, around the world as possible. One of my nurses told me, like, you have such great faith. He was like, I'm so inspired by you. And it was weird because I was inspired by him, but he was like, no, like, you're always positive. You're always smiling. He's like, it's just amazing because of what you've been through and how young you are. You're so inspiring. And I've heard that from almost every nurse. They're always like, you're just such an inspiration. And he told me, I want you to go inspire the world. So I'm trying to do this. So that's thanks to Ivan. Shout out to Ivan. He was one of my nurses. And Jessie. They were two of my main nurses. They were really nice and really helpful. But Jessie now transferred to Anaheim, so I didn't get a chance to see him and say goodbye. But I still see Ivan. There's a lot of people there too. My oncologist, Dr. Wang, and my social worker helped me, Christine. Like, she was amazing. So it's nice to have support. But again, I'll have another video up on Wednesday. Hope you guys have a good day. Remember, when God gives you a battle, why give him anything less than a fight? Bye.